अभी हमने आपकी मुलाकात करानी है और हमने बात करनी है बरतानिया और पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात की, जिसको आज हम सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, जिसको इस साल हम सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि बरतानिया और पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात को हो गए हैं 75 साल। नेचुरली जब से पाकिस्तान की एग्जिस्टेंस है तभी से बरतानिया के साथ पाकिस्तान के ताल्लुकात हैं, और इसके लिए हमने आज दावत दी है स्टूडियोज़ में ब्रिटिश हाई कमिश्नर His Excellency Dr. Kristen Turner. Your Excellency, it's good to have you over. Congratulations. We saw some great visuals across the UK, people celebrating Queen's Platinum Jubilee, and certainly we are also celebrating Pakistan and British 75 years of long relationship. How significant is this landmark?
Well, thank you, Abdullah. It's great to be with you, and I think it's a huge landmark for us. Of course, Her Majesty is 96 years old.
Yes.
In any cricketing terminology, that would be a good innings. But it's also this Platinum Jubilee, 70 years that she's been of her reign. And you think that spans from the 1950s, television was, hardly with us, to the age of social media and artificial intelligence. It's an extraordinary tenure that she's seen. And of course, for us here in Pakistan, we were celebrating, as you've said, 75 years of our relations. So it's been a big moment for the country, a big moment for our national identity, for nearly all of us. She's always been there
She has always been there.
As a sort of figure of continuity. She's a remarkable leader.
And progression as well, and a lot of things that, she has a lot of contribution in modernizing the monarchy and then televising her coronation ceremony, and there's a long list of things. The credit goes to her, certainly. In bridging that gap between the masses, between the subjects and the monarchs.
Correct. Like all institutions, the monarchy has had to evolve to stay relevant. So there's been change in with the continuity. So I think we're really celebrating that life of service. She calls it servant leadership, where she sees herself as supporting the people rather than leading them. And it was a lovely 4-day celebration. We had 2 holidays, so people took a long weekend in the UK, time off, street parties, concerts. A very big figure for us called Paddington Bear had a cup of tea with her. So all of this was very nice.
You apparently had a few gatherings here in Pakistan as well, and you also invited our Prime Minister, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, and there's a picture which went viral later on social media. Although we all do that when we cut the cake in our birthday parties, we get to have cakes. We get to have cake from each other's hands, but that went quite viral. So was it planned or something? Because there's a lot of commentary on that.
No, it wasn't planned, but that is what you do. So I'm always delighted to eat cake, and I was very honoured that the Prime Minister attended the birthday celebrations. I think he was honouring Her Majesty, and of course I formally represent Her Majesty in Pakistan. So it's almost like an occasion when the two states are very much there. There is always a chief guest from the government side. We're hosting another party here in Karachi, where again there will be the Chief Minister representing. So it's a formal thing where the two countries are saying hum ek saath hain. And I was very flattered and honoured on behalf of...
We are going to certainly be discussing the relationship between the two states as well. But after a while, we have to take a short break, and then we're going to continue this discussion. Pakistan has a very vibrant community living for decades in UK now, and there are a lot of Pakistani and Desi things that because of them are now a part of British culture and British cuisine. So we're really interested to know, what is the most Desi experience? Obviously, you have had Desi experiences here, but what is the most Desi experience you have ever had back in the UK?
Back at home in the UK. It's all going to be about the food, really, let's be honest, because that relationship between us that we were talking about, the way our peoples are intertwined, 1.6 million British Pakistanis, it's about 2% of our population, 100,000 Brits here in Pakistan, maybe 500,000 travelling back and forth each year, and with that they bring friendships, they bring ties. Most of the viewers, people have got those links. But it's when I'm in Bradford or Manchester or Birmingham that I enjoy a good meal. I'm enjoying my saag, my dal. That's when
Areas like Birmingham and surroundings that you just mentioned are probably more Desi than British.
You could well say that. It's become part of our national life and part of our national culture.
Yes, we all know that people here, and people have been serving there, and you must know as well, that people back here have great potential, and that is yet to be polished in a lot of ways. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have not seen a lot of investment from the British government as compared to other parts of the world. Is that true?
No, that's not correct, Abdullah. We are still Pakistan's third largest trading partner, the third largest source of foreign direct investment. And of course, the remittances flows are a very important part. We're all looking at the economy today with the budget coming. It's a very, very big part of our economic ties. So we're a very big partner in that sense. I would like to advance that. I've said I'd like to double trade by 2025. I think
and probably project this too.
Yes, I mean,
this needs to be highlighted.
There's a very big amount of potential, I think, for us to gain further, and that comes from those people ties. So I see the economic links as viable. The sporting and cultural links are a big part of it too. I famously am a big supporter of bringing England cricket back to Pakistan. I am very confident this autumn we will see England tour after a 17-year wait.
Looking forward to that. You know, that's one thing which unites us as well.
And you are so right. It's
our love for cricket.
Hamare khun mein hai. It's in our blood.
It is in our blood.
And you ask about my Desi experiences. I went in the World Cup to a match at Lord's. Of course, the home of cricket. It was between Pakistan and South Africa. And the whole of Lord's, the whole of North London was green for Pakistan. It was like a home game. It was absolutely electric.
Wonderful. So, Dr. साहब कह रहे हैं कि जनाब एक क्रिकेट ही है जो हर चीज़ से ज़्यादा हम लोगों को, बरतानिया के लोगों को, पाकिस्तान के लोगों को एक दूसरे से जोड़ती है और जिसे कहते हैं ना ये आप इंग्लिश क्रिकेट टीम के टूर ऑफ पाकिस्तान के लिए उतनी ही एक्साइटेड हैं जितने हमें which is going to be after 17 years 17 साल बाद इंग्लिश क्रिकेट टीम पाकिस्तान का दौरा करेगी. So we are certainly looking forward to that. All right. Your Excellency, there is one issue that I would like to have your opinion on, Islamophobia, the issue that Muslims across the globe are facing, but now that people have started voicing their opinion about it, now we have a new Marvel female Muslim superhero as well. So do you think that the world is progressing in the right direction to tackle Islamophobia?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the Marvel program, actually. It's a great milestone crossed. I mean, I think I would reflect more broadly that we are seeing across the world a problem with tolerance in some areas, with more extreme opinions, and some of this is being well documented. It's driven by social media. And to take it back to the Queen and a lot of what we're talking about with Her Majesty this week, those values of integrity, of selflessness, of hard work, of disagreeing respectfully, I think are an important example to us. So I think all religions have issues with some of these attitudes, and Islamophobia is certainly an issue in the UK. You know, our society is not immune from it, and for my government that I serve, freedom of religious belief, respect for people to practice their faith, to worship freely is a very important part of the values we hold.
All right, and one more thing, that phenomena which has developed, to be honest, a little recently, Pakistani's diaspora, Pakistani community living in the UK have become very politically active. And, you know, they voice their opinions, they hold protests at different parts of London as well. There's a political rivalry going on in the Pakistani community living in the UK. So are you guys okay with it?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. That's democracy. That's healthy.
That is,
and we have a long tradition of peaceful, democratic protest in our country. And if you accept the ties between our peoples that we're talking about, you would inevitably expect some of that to be happening in the UK community. So I think that's fine. Look, for my position is very clear. My job is not to be taking sides. It's not to be involved in domestic politics. My job is to advance British interests. So I work with whomever is in power in Pakistan. I'm very privileged. I speak to all sides. I have good relations with the PTIers, with the Noon Leaguers. That's my job, and I think we should accept that democracy is part of a healthy discourse of being able to disagree, but disagree respectfully.
Indeed. All right, and one last thing, education, the educational ties, they have been always important for Pakistan and for UK as well. There are a lot of students that have gone to UK for their further studies. So how do you see it further strengthening? What do you want to contribute it so that students here back in Pakistan can facilitate more from universities across the UK?
I'm really pleased you raised this, Abdullah. It's one of the most important issues we work on. Let me emphasize education here in Pakistan. It's an area we've long supported as the British government. Getting more girls into school in particular is a big priority for us. We think girls' education is critical for all countries to go. You can't realize a country's potential without 50% of its population. So that's an area we've long supported and worked very closely with previous governments, this government on. And then you're right, for higher education, those links of people going back and forth, developing skills. It's another area where I've got ambition to go even further, but I'm pleased to say that last year we issued 10,000 student visas, and that was a 70% increase on the previous year. So the numbers moving to study are going rapidly up, and that's a good thing. And the more people that are traveling back and forth are building those educational ties, frankly, the happier I am.
All right, that's all the time we have. But lastly, I would like to ask you certainly that although you're based in Islamabad, but you like to travel back and forth to Karachi. So what is one thing that brings you back to Karachi and again and again? I'm sure it must
now
be
then
something.
you see I get in trouble because I start picking favorites in the cities. I mean, let me be clear. I'm based in Islamabad, but you cannot understand any country from its capital city.
Yes.
So that's why I like to get out on the road. You see me on social media.
And people come to Karachi particularly for its food.
Well, but the Lahoris, you see, they get cross with me. I say Karachi food is better. I mean, this is the city of lights. And Karachi has its own...
Indeed, Karachi's food is better.
It has its own edge. You see, I'm being diplomatic now.
That's your job.
But I love Karachi because it's got its energy, it's got its parties are always good, so it's got the business people down here, so I'm always happy to be back in Karachi.
So do you like to, now the floor is yours, would you like to say something to the people who are listening to you here in Pakistan?
I would just like to say, UK or Pakistan ka talakat bahut ahem hai.
Certainly.
We are exarch, and this celebration of Her Majesty the Queen's Jubilee and of this enduring modern relationship between us is one I hope will last as strong for the next 75 years.
All right, thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. Christian Turner, British High Commissioner. It was great to have you over, sir. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.